Alrighty guys, welcome back. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna continue our tutorial on what we have. So at the end of our last episode in this series, we had this. So when we loaded up localhost :8080, it would load us up to, hey guys, this is cool, because it would redirect with the route provider to when it goes to the slash, which we have right here. The controller will be main controller, which is right here, and the template URL will be main.html, which we have right here. So if we change this to awesome, for example, bam, there we go, it works. Alright, so let's jump right into this tutorial. Let's just start it right now. Right off the bat, we're just gonna remove this because that's pretty much that's just like holding code that was just testing out. So, alright, let's start it. Let's start it off by creating a div on the top part and then creating a form inside that div. Inside this form, we're gonna have some inputs. So we can do an input, and then it's gonna be type, text, of course. Oops, not tell. Text, of course, and then placeholder. This one will be name, and then this one will be ng-model. Alright, ng-model. We'll do it post.name. So the model for this, how we're going to get it in the app.js, will be post.name. Then I'm just going to copy and paste this 3 times, or 2 times I guess you'd say, and then do description, and then we'll do post.description, and then URL, and then we'll do post.url. Sweet, and then we got that, and then one last thing, and we'll do button, and we'll do ng-click, and then on the ng-click, we'll do save post. We'll just create a function called save post, and that'll take in post, which is what we are currently creating right now. Alright, so then inside that and then we can just name this save post. Sounds like a pretty decent name for it. Alright, so back into the app.js. What we want to do is create a constant. A constant's basically like a variable that will be global and stay the same throughout our whole thing that we're going to make. So I'm going to name it FB_URL. FB is not Facebook, it's Firebase. I mean, some people might get that confused, but hopefully not people that are watching this video. Hopefully they'll know a bit more than that. So Firebase, here we go. It's our dashboard. So mine is unknown-chat.firebase.io.com. So I'm just going to copy that, hit comma, paste that right in. So then, there we go. We have a Firebase URL that's set as a constant. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a factory to actually fetch the things from that URL. So I'm going to name this factory posts because, I mean, logically post sounds like a good thing that we should call it. And then it's going to turn into a function. The function is going to take in Firebase and FB URL. Alright, and then just close that off. Oops. And then next thing we're going to do inside this is it's going to return something. So when this factory is called, it's going to return a Firebase. And then inside the Firebase, we're going to create a new Firebase. Sounds almost repetitive. With the FB URL. And then we're going to do as array. Simple as that. We have it done right there. So this is the factory that we're going to use. So besides just scope and Firebase in our main controller, we're also going to want to add posts. Post is going to allow us to get all of the posts that we want. Let me just do some formatting. Alright, sweet. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make that scope.savePost function. So then we're going to create that into a function, and like in the other thing, it's going to take in post. Then we're going to make this, just make it a function, so open up the squiggly brackets. Alright, so this is where we're going to actually add it to Firebase. So we're going to add posts.$add, because if you don't know the Firebase documentation, I won't show it here, but the Firebase documentation .add is a method that you can call. So then we're going to take in this we're going to open up a regular parenthesis and a squiggly bracket, then close it down here. So then what we're going to do inside of here is we're going to set the name equal to post.name, and then we're going to set the description, or not equal, when we're creating a JavaScript object inside of here, so we're going to set the description to post.description, and then we're going to set the URL to post.url. And one last thing we just got to fix real quick is once they're done creating one of these, we just want to reset all the values. So post.name, and then post.description, and then finally post.url. Sweet. So now, technically, hopefully, if we load this thing back up, let's create a document, name it, we'll name it Google. The description of it, we'll name it a cool website, because that's always a good idea. And right now we haven't added the HTTP adding to it, or HTTPS in this case, so I'm just going to add https://google.com, save post. So technically right now, currently nothing has happened. So we can inspect the element to see what happens when we click on the console. So dang, that's a big issue. So I'm guessing our issue right here. Alright guys, so I actually looked at it and it turns out it was a really stupid dumb mistake. So I'll show you what I messed up on. So right here when we add Firebase to our function, I just totally forgot to put a $sign because Firebase, like we declared it up here, has to have a $sign in front of it. So now if we do, so we can do Google cool website, and we'll do https://google.com, and bam, nothing's gonna show up, but it does reset all these, which is good, and it adds this as well. So this is just me messing around, so we can delete that. And this is basically what we wanted. It has this random ID now, which is perfect. And now the last thing we're going to make it do is make it so it actually shows up when we display it. So we'll add another div, and then inside this div we're going to basically do an ng repeat method. What an ng repeat method is it's basically where we're going to cycle through all of the different objects that it finds here in the Firebase. So the ng repeat method is going to have post in posts, and then in this posts method we're going to have h2 for our header. H2, it's going to have and then a link inside of that, and so we're going to do ng-href because it's a different function, and then this href is going to be inside two squiggly brackets like shown, post.url. Sweet. And then last thing we can do inside this is we'll have post.name, and then one more thing we can do is do post.description. Now if we did this correctly it should work, and of course it doesn't, but that's alright because I know exactly what we did wrong this time. Right below here we want to make it so scope.posts equals posts. See, the function, we're taking posts here, then we got to set posts with the lowercase posts, the posts that we're declaring here equal to something. So now when you load it up, bam, there we go. It's shown and it looks perfect. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button, and I'm going to be coming out with another video probably pretty soon. Yeah, next video will probably be adding like delete buttons and voting buttons, and just probably tightening it up a bit. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, peace out.